I'm going to configure containerd to pull images from GitLab container registry. It is an HTTP, and this is the URL, and this is the password. At first, it's required to have a user on the GitLab server. So let's go to and create it. Then for new password, I will use OpenSSL. Okay, after creating, if we have a user on our GitLab server, and this user required to have access to the project. Okay, this user is part of the project, and we have the username and password for this user. After it's required to configure containerd to use to pull from HTTP container registry. It's at first I will ping the container registry SSH to my server. Here we can ping the server, and that's it. Before configuring containerd, let's see what images do we have on the server. This image is already, this is the busy box, and before configuring containerd, let's try to pull from the server using the username and password. Here we can see it was successful, but if I try to create deployment on the server, it will fail because it can't pull from HTTP container registry. Here you can see this is my deployment, and it's trying to deploy the pod on this server. Go create, and if I check, we can see error pulling image, and if we check, we can see here the server gave HTTP response to HTTPS client. So I have to configure my containerd to use to send HTTP request to the container registry. So let's delete this deployment and configure this server to send HTTP request to the container registry. Here we have two methods using modular approach. Also, we can use a single configuration file. I will use modular configuration as it is recommended. Here I will create this file. Then this is the configuration. And my username and password. I will save it. Okay, you know, the problem is I don't have this directory, and I have to create it. Now I can okay, then I have to restart containerd. Let's see service status. It is active and running. Now if I create it and see the description, you can see it is pulling the image from container registry, but because this pod needs a config map, it will fail, but because it needs the config map, it is pulling, and the pulling process will be successful. Please wait. Here are another method, which is single file approach, and you can do this configuration on the containerd config file, but this method is better. The modular approach is better and recommended, and I strongly suggest you use first method. Let's see. As you can see here, image successfully pulled from the container registry, but it's required to have a config map. You know, here the image successfully pulled. That's it. Hope it is useful for you. Please like, share, and subscribe.